Hey there, Careblazers! Welcome back to the place where we talk about everything dementia. Dr. Natalie here, and in today's video, I'm going to answer a question left by a fellow Careblazer underneath one of my recent videos. So this Careblazer, Caleb, he writes, "My aunt takes care of my grandmother for most of the week. My mother tries to help her out every now and then during the weekends. Is there any creative way I can help both of them out? What are the ways I can help them? They act like they are fine, and I hope they are, but I'm sure taking care of my grandmother can be difficult at times." Caleb, thank you so much for this question, and thank you for inspiring me to do this video. I think it's awesome that you want to help your mom and your aunt out, and you're right, caring for somebody with dementia absolutely gets to be difficult at times, no matter what situation you're in. I'm willing to bet there are many people out there who want to help out a family member or friend who's caring for a loved one with dementia, and they're just not quite sure what to do. Or when they do offer their help, their friend or family member often declines the help and doesn't accept it. So I'm going to go over some tips and approaches you can try with your loved ones and friends to see if they would be more willing to accept your help. And if you are a caregiver who is in the thick of things providing care for your loved one with dementia, I'm also going to go over ways that you can accept help. When it comes to helping a dementia caregiver, you can go about it in two different ways. You can extend help specifically to the person who's providing the care, the dementia caregiver, or you can extend your help by offering to help out the person with dementia, which would then in turn also help the dementia caregiver. So I'll talk about both of those approaches, and for starters, I will start with ways that you can offer and extend help to the person providing the care. For starters, let your friend, family member, let them know that you want to help. Let them know that dementia caregiving is a difficult process, it's a time-consuming process, and you really want to be involved in whatever way possible to help alleviate some of their stress. But don't just leave it at that. You want to try to think of things that they have to do on a regular basis and that would be helpful for them if somebody else could take over. So general offers such as, "How can I help?" or "Let me know if there's anything I can do to help," that's often going to be met with, "Oh, I'm fine," or "Okay, thank you," and then they'll never reach out. So you want to try to be as specific as possible. Here are some examples of ways that you can offer your help to somebody who's caring for somebody with dementia. You could start by saying, "Does your grass need cut? I've got some time this weekend. I'd love to take care of it." Or, "I'd love to spend some time with you. Can I come over and make us some dinner so we can catch up?" Who doesn't love yard work and cooking being done for them? And in fact, a dementia caregiver is going to need these things done more often than a lot of other people. Or you could ask a question that doesn't make it so easy for them to say no, or you just literally do the help and so they have no way to get out of it. So for example, you could say, "I made some extra lasagna tonight. Here's the extra that can last you for several meals." They're not really going to throw away that extra food, and chances are it's going to come in really handy either for them and their family or as meals for their loved one with dementia. You could also say something like, "I'm headed to the store tonight. What can I pick up for you?" That doesn't really give them an out to say, "Oh, nothing, I have everything." They could still say that, but you're literally not asking, "Can I pick up something from the store?" You're saying, "What can I pick up from the store?" That makes it a little bit easier for the caregivers to actually give you a response. You could also say something like, "I'm headed to the dry cleaners tomorrow. Do you have anything I can pick up or drop off?" Also, if you have kids at home, especially now in the summer breaks when they're bored and spending all their time on the smartphones, you could call up your friend or family member who's caring for somebody with dementia, and you could say, "Hey, I'm going to send Johnny over for a couple hours today. He's bored out of his mind. I'm trying to teach him some good responsibility. I'm going to have him come do your yard work. I'm going to have him come do laundry or clean up your kitchen," something like that. So it's a way of providing help to that caregiver, but it's disguised as actually helping you and your family out. Also, if you have kids, another good idea, if the dementia caregiver also has kids, because sandwich caregivers, daughters and sons caring for their parents as well as their young ones is becoming more and more common. What you could do is you could call up your friend or family member and say, hey, I'm going to take my kids to the zoo this weekend. Is it okay if your kids tag along? Or something to that effect. So you're actually giving that caregiver a break from having to care for her own kids, which is a huge relief, even for a couple of hours, but you're doing it in a way that helps you and your kids out, as if, you know, they want to stay together and play together and do things together, which they probably do, but you're not saying, hey, you must be so stressed from trying to do everything, can I watch your kids for you? Instead, you're saying, hey, I'm already going to this really fun place with my kids, I'd love to have your kids tag along. So notice that a lot of these examples that I'm saying, it's not about let me help relieve this huge burden from you. It's about, hey, I happen to be doing X, Y, or Z, and I might as well pick up something or do this thing as well for you since I'm already there. So it's not like you're going out of your way. It's going to make it easier for that caregiver to say sure or okay or thank you very much, I appreciate that. Now, the one thing I do want to caution everybody about is don't offer your help or assistance if you're not going to be able to follow through. If you are offering to make a meal or offering to do yard work or offering to run an errand, whatever it might be, make sure you can actually follow through with that help before you offer it. So think about whether or not it's something reasonable that you'd be willing to do before you offer the help. Last but not least, when it comes to offering help to a dementia caregiver, one of the most helpful things that you can do, but also one of the most overlooked things, is simply offering your support, letting them know they're doing a great job, being an active listener and hearing what they have to say, letting them talk about their stress and frustration without judgment, without offering a bunch of opinions. Just being there for them. Being a dementia caregiver a lot of times is one of the most underappreciated tasks because the person you're giving the care to a lot of times doesn't think they need the care or doesn't realize all the work that you're doing or that they're doing. And it makes it hard for somebody to sacrifice so much time and energy day in and day out for very little appreciation. So if you're a family member or friend, simply letting your, you know, in Caleb's case, mom and aunt know that, hey, you're doing an amazing job, or I really admire everything that you're doing for grandma. Something that simple can really go a long way, so keep it in mind. Another way to help out a dementia caregiver is by offering to help out with the caregiving tasks. So it would be possible, if you live nearby, to say, in Caleb's case, hey mom or hey aunt, I am going to be in the neighborhood tomorrow for a couple of hours. I've got some time to kill. Do you mind if I come sit with grandma for a bit while you go do whatever it is that you need to do? Notice how that question isn't like it's a burden to go do it. It's like, oh, hey, it's a convenience. I'm here. I have a couple hours to spare. Let me come sit with grandma for a while. It makes it easier for the caregiver to say yes. And if you get the permission, other ways you can be helpful while watching your grandma would be to run a load of laundry, clean up the kitchen, make a meal, even if it's okay, filling up the pill boxes. So that's one less thing your mom or aunt would have to do. Or you could simply sit on a couch and visit with your grandma and talk to her and watch some TV and just be there for extra safety while your mom or aunt does whatever it is that they need to do. If stopping by the house is not an option, you could consider calling your grandmother every now and then, or calling the person who has dementia every now and then, because it allows for an extra set of ears and an extra person semi-involved. It helps provide some relief to the dementia caregivers, knowing that there's at least one other person checking in every now and then. Now, if you want to take a more hands-off approach as far as the dementia caregiving goes, because maybe for some people with dementia, it gets to be a little bit overwhelming or stressful to have more people coming into the home, you could take more of a hands-off approach that could still be really helpful for the dementia caregivers. It could be really helpful for your mom and aunt. So things like considering signing up for a grocery service where the groceries are delivered, offering to run any errands or pick up medication refills, offering to look into community resources that might be available to help out with the situation. offering to help make sure the bills look okay and pay any bills online that could be paid. So these types of things, you're still providing a huge relief for the dementia caregivers, but you're not necessarily having to be hands-on into the care. Now, if you are a Careblazer watching this video and you are in the thick of things, providing the bulk of all the dementia care, I really want to encourage you to say yes when help is being offered. When people are offering help, the majority of the time, surprise, they really do want to offer help, just like in this situation with Caleb writing in. It's just that sometimes people don't really know how to offer the help and what specifically would be the most helpful to you. And it's really hard for caregivers to actually say, yes, I need the help. Too often they say no and push away. So think about some of the ideas that were just mentioned in terms of food or laundry or cleaning or yard work or picking up medicines. Think of those specific situations. So if somebody does offer you help, usually in a general way, you could say, you know what, it actually would be, if you ever have any leftovers, it'd be awesome if you drop them off at my house. We could always use extra meals around here. Something like that. I know that it's hard to do, but it can't be as hard as caring for somebody with dementia. You're already doing one of the hardest jobs around. So as uncomfortable as it is, I promise it will get easier if you simply say yes, and it will make that other person actually feel better. So that's my challenge for any Careblazer watching this, is to accept the help. And for people like Caleb out there, you're doing an amazing job just even asking this question and wanting to find out ways that you can help. Now, it could be possible that no matter which way you phrase it, I hope that some of these things I mentioned can spark some ideas for what would work in your specific situation. But it could be possible that your grandma, your aunt or your mom may just always say no. Maybe they are doing completely fine and they've got it all under control. And no matter which way you slice it, they kind of decline your help. I want to encourage you to gently revisit the help every now and then, because as we know, dementia progresses, it gets worse, and so the level of care and their level of stress can change as time goes on. All right, Careblazers, I hope that this video has been helpful to you in some way. Caleb, I hope this video has been helpful to you in some way. If you, like Caleb, have a question that you would like me to address in a future video, please don't hesitate to leave a comment under any of my videos. I do read them all. And that's it. Until next time, Careblazers, take care of yourself and your loved one with dementia. Bye. Also, don't forget, I made a Careblazer survival guide for free that you can download. And I also just recently started a Facebook page for Dementia Careblazers, where I'll give you a little bit more behind the scenes look at what I'm doing here at Careblazers and some self-care tips and things like that. So links are below in the description. Feel free to sign up for both. Bye.